Get your black ass out of this piece of shit. White cop. Gun drawn. Black woman behind the wheel. He yanks the door open, rips her out by the arm, hard. You black women always thinking you can drive this trash around here. Grabs her registration, throws it in the dirt, steps on it with his boot. Black woman, single mother, beat up Honda, 9-year-old screaming in back. Hands go up. She stays silent. Shut that kid up. She freezes, won't move, can't. Black women know this. One wrong move means death. He writes 6 lies on the citation, stares at her while he does, smiling. Tomorrow in court, under oath. He'll say this black woman was violent, resisted arrest. He's done this 42 times before. Always black women. Always walks free. Not tomorrow. This black woman? FBI agent. Been watching him 18 months. That judge tomorrow? Black woman. 23 years on the bench. About to explode. Monday, March 25th, 11 a.m. Riverside, California. Wendy Ellis, 38. Black woman. FBI special agent. Civil Rights Division. 9 years with the Bureau. But right now, she's just a mom picking up her daughter. The 2009 Honda Accord pulls into Riverside Elementary. 140,000 miles. Dent in the bumper. Engine runs fine. Everything works. Wendy makes sure now. Maya climbs in back. 9 years old. 4th grade. Backpack with unicorn stickers. She hums along to the radio. Alicia Keys. Normal afternoon. Normal mom. Except Wendy isn't just FBI. She's Civil Rights Division. Investigates police departments targeting communities of color. She's been in Riverside 18 months. Undercover. Because when black women report racist cops, they're not believed. She needs to experience it firsthand, document it, build an irrefutable case. She checks the rearview mirror. Once, twice, 3 times. Professional habit. She notices the patrol cruiser 3 cars back. White officer. Been there since school. She knows. Riverside PD. Probably Sullivan. His shift. His beat. His pattern. Monday afternoons. School pickup. Targets black mothers in older cars. This morning, Wendy walked around the Accord. Checked everything. Both tail lights working. Turn signals working. Registration current. Inspection valid. License plate clean. Everything by the book. She does this daily now. Riverside Avenue near Magnolia. 2:45 p.m. Light traffic. Right lane. Speed limit 45. Odometer shows 43. No weaving. Signals properly. Maya asks, "What's for dinner, Mama?" "Pasta, baby. Your favorite." Then, lights in rear view. Red and blue. Siren chirp. Her heart doesn't race. Not anymore. She's been expecting this. 3rd time this month. 4th Monday in a row. Pattern clear. Wendy's dash cam, installed after the 2nd stop, records everything. Timestamp 11:03:42 a.m. Both tail lights functional. No violations. Clean stop. She pulls over calmly. Parks. Windows already down. Hands on wheel. 10 and 2. Visible. Maya's voice is small. "Mama, what did you do?" She's 9. Already knows police cars mean trouble. Already had the talk. Stay quiet. Hands visible. Don't move suddenly. Lessons black parents teach for survival. Nothing, baby. Sometimes they just check. But Wendy sees Maya's eyes in the mirror. Wide. Worried. This is why she does this work. So Maya's generation doesn't live in this fear. 8 minutes. The officer stays in his car, running plates. 8 minutes is long. He's searching multiple databases, looking for warrants, wants, priors, won't find anything. Wendy Ellis is careful. Clean record by design. Time, 11:03 a.m. Location, Riverside and Magnolia. Weather clear. Officer badge number visible in mirror when he adjusts. 2891. Derek Sullivan. Right on schedule. This isn't random. Wendy has studied him 18 months. 42 documented complaints. 89% from Black and Latina women. Pattern? Older cars, school pickup times, fabricated violations. 0 sustained investigations. Captain Harrison buries every complaint. Today, that changes. Sullivan exits his cruiser. White male. Early 40s. Medium build. 12 years on force. She knows his file. Hand rests on service weapon. Doesn't need to. But he does. Show of force. Standard when stopping Black women. Maya whispers, "I'm scared, Mama." "I know, baby. But remember, sometimes brave means being scared and doing it anyway." What she doesn't say, Mama is being strategic. 3 years of investigation coming to a point. Just needs him to make that final mistake. Then she'll show him exactly who he stopped. Sullivan's boots on asphalt. Measured steps. He takes position behind the driver's pillar. Knocks window. 2 knuckles. Sharp. Wendy keeps hands visible. License and registration. Not good afternoon. Just commands. The word ma'am sounds like an insult when he uses it. Wendy reaches slowly. "I'm reaching for my registration, officer." Announces every movement. Survival protocol. Hands him documents. "Ma'am, do you know why I stopped you today?" Trap question. If she says no, she's not aware. If she guesses, she's admitting something. Wendy keeps her voice calm. "No, officer, I don't." Sullivan leans down, studies her face. "Your left tail light is out. Observed you drift out of your lane twice. Failed to signal at Magnolia. You were traveling 53 in a 45 zone." Each claim delivered matter of fact. Professional. He's lying fluently. Wendy knows. Tail light works. Stayed in lane. Signaled properly. Going 43, not 53. She doesn't argue. "Okay, officer." Sullivan's eyes narrow. He expected resistance. Most people argue. She's too calm. He continues. "Registration appears expired. License plate partially obstructed." 6 violations now. Stacking charges. Making it expensive. Harder to contest. Wendy's dash cam records everything. Sullivan's body cam is active too. Small red light on his vest. What he doesn't know, the footage will show a 46-second gap starting at 11:07:18. Exactly when he claims to observe lane violations. Metadata doesn't lie. "Stay in the vehicle." Sullivan returns to his patrol car. 8 minutes pass. Longer than normal. He's being thorough, or suspicious. Running her through every database. NCIC, California Law Enforcement, FBI database won't flag her undercover status. DMV. Looking for anything. He returns, starts to say something, catches himself. Drivers in this area often changes direction mid-sentence. But Wendy heard the slip. "You people always." He's said it before. To 42 other women. Sullivan writes the citation carefully. More detail than usual. Creating a story. Citation number RPD 2024 884251. Lists all 6 violations. California Vehicle Code 24252B, defective tail light. CVC 22106, unsafe lane change. CVC 22108, failure to signal. CVC 222349A, speeding 53 and 45. CVC 4000A, expired registration. CVC 5201A, obstructed plate. Total fine $850. Traffic school mandatory. Sign here, not an admission of guilt, confirms you received it. Wendy reads every line, slowly. Sullivan shifts weight, impatient. She signs, takes her copy. Pink carbon paper. Court date is April 16th. Failure to appear is an additional charge. Wendy looks directly at him. I'll be there. She means it. From back seat, Maya whispers, Mama, are you going to jail? Her voice breaks Wendy's heart. 9 years old. Already associates police with jail. Already learned this fear. Other kids whose parents got arrested started like this. Pulled over, didn't come home. Wendy turns, meets her daughter's eyes. No, baby. We're going to court. It's different. I promise. But she sees the fear. Black child learning too early. System isn't fair. Police aren't always good. Survive by compliance, even when you're right. Sullivan walks back to his cruiser, sits, watches her, 5 full minutes. Psychological intimidation, daring her to react. Wendy doesn't move. Finally, he pulls out, drives away. She watches him in mirror until he's gone. Exhales. Maya's voice is small. I'm scared. I know, baby. Wendy puts car in drive. But remember what I told you? Sometimes brave means being scared and doing it anyway. What she doesn't say, Mama is being strategic, patient. 3 years of investigation coming to a point. He just made his final mistake. In 72 hours, she'll show him exactly who he stopped. Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., Riverside County Superior Court, Department 4B, Traffic Court. The courtroom smells like old carpet and floor wax. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. 60 hertz buzz. Gallery half full. Other defendants. Attorneys. Curious public. Wendy enters. Business attire. Dark blazer. Hair professional. Briefcase in hand. Brown leather. Worn corners. Heavy. Takes seat at defense table. No attorney. Just that briefcase. All rise. Department 4B now in session. Honorable Patricia Coleman presiding. Coleman enters. Black robe, 58 years old. Black woman, short gray hair. Reading glasses on gold chain. Settles into chair. Gavel rests within reach. Solid oak. 23 years old. Seen 1,000 cases. Judge Coleman has a reputation. 23 years on bench. 15 as prosecutor before. First black woman judge in Riverside County. Came up hard. Focused on hate crimes. Sent 2 white officers to prison for perjury in 2015. 1 targeted black teenagers. Fabricated gang affiliations. Black community knows Coleman. Respects her. They call her Judge P. With pride. Clerk calls the case. People versus Ellis. Case number 2024 TR 884251. Wendy stands. Present, Your Honor. Coleman looks up, studies her. Something registers. Professional bearing. Too calm for traffic defendant. Ms. Ellis, you're representing yourself? Yes, Your Honor. You understand you have right to attorney? I do, Your Honor. I'm choosing to proceed pro se. Coleman nods. Interesting. Thomas Anderson stands. Assistant DA. Traffic Division. 42 years old. Tie loose. Coffee stain on folder. Tone perfunctory. Your Honor, defendant cited for 6 vehicle code violations. Officer Derek Sullivan present to testify. Anderson has done 200 of these. Routine. Officer testifies. Defendant pleads. Fine assessed. Next case. Officer Derek Sullivan, please approach. Sullivan stands from gallery. Riverside PD dress uniform. Medals on chest. Flag pin. Crisp. Professional. Walks with authority. Swagger subtle but present. 12 years on force. You can tell. Bailiff administers oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? I do. Sullivan sits, makes eye contact with Anderson, not with Wendy, never looks at defendants. Anderson begins. Officer Sullivan, please describe the stop. Sullivan's voice confident, practiced. March 25th, approximately 11:03 a.m. I was on patrol, Riverside Avenue near Magnolia. Observed defendant's vehicle, 2009 Honda Accord. Left tail light was clearly out, non-functional. Conducted traffic stop for vehicle code 24252B violation. Anything else observed? Yes. As I followed defendant's vehicle prior to stop, observed vehicle drift from lane twice. Unsafe. Defendant failed to signal lane change at Magnolia intersection. Radar indicated speed 53 and posted 45. Upon approach, noted registration appeared expired. License plate partially obstructed. Every word a lie. Smooth, confident. 12 years experience lying in this courtroom. Anderson continues. Your professional assessment? Based on my 12 years experience, multiple violations observed. Defendant seemed defensive initially, not fully cooperative. Complete fabrication. Wendy had been perfectly compliant, silent. But Sullivan is building narrative. Difficult defendant. Multiple violations. Justified stop. Thank you. Nothing further. Judge Coleman leans forward. Pen stops. Looks at Sullivan. Then Wendy. Something doesn't add up. Officer Sullivan, you noted 6 violations. That's extensive for routine traffic stop. Yes, Your Honor. Sometimes violations cluster. Driver awareness issues. Coleman weighs credibility. She's heard hundreds of officers testify. Sullivan is convincing. Because he's lied so many times he's fluent. The court notes Officer Sullivan has testified before this court numerous times. His record with this court is exemplary. The words sting. Exemplary record. Code for believe the cop. What Coleman doesn't know. Harrison buried 42 complaints. She doesn't know 89% were from Black and Latina women. She doesn't know this white officer weaponized her courtroom, a Black woman's courtroom, to target women who look like her. When she finds out, everything changes. Anderson makes recommendation. Your Honor, people recommend fine of $850. Traffic school mandatory. Coleman turns to Wendy. Ms. Ellis, do you wish to contest Officer Sullivan's testimony or enter plea? Gallery leans forward. Most defendants just plead guilty, pay, leave. This feels different. Wendy stands, voice calm, clear, not nervous, not angry. Your Honor, I have evidence to present. Anderson looks up. Unusual. Coleman nods. Proceed. Wendy reaches for briefcase. Methodically, not rushed, pulls out folder, then another, then something else. Visible to gallery. Gold badge. Small. Federal. Places documents on defense table. Then badge. Face up. Gallery squints. Can't see details yet. Sullivan's eyes widen. He sees badge. Recognition hits. Face drains color. Sweat on temple. Hand grips witness chair arm. Anderson stands slightly. Your Honor? Coleman leans forward. Ms. Ellis, what are you? Wendy places credentials on table. Facing judge. Gold shield. Eagle emblem. Clear now. Letters visible. FBI. The courtroom freezes. 3 seconds of total silence. Even HVAC seems loud. Then Coleman's hand moves toward gavel. Coleman's hand slams gavel down. Once. Sound cracks through courtroom like gunshot. Gallery jumps. Slam. Twice. Slam. 3 times. Wood on wood. Thunder. Order! Her voice rises. First time in 23 years anyone has heard it above measured tone. Seismic change. Everyone sit down! Now! People scramble to seats. Anderson drops folder. Papers scatter. No one picks them up. Coleman's face transforms, neutral to shock to recognition to fury. 2 seconds. She's seen everything in 23 years. Not this. Officer Sullivan, voice low, dangerous, building. Stand up. Sullivan rises, trembling, visible. Did you just commit perjury in my courtroom? Not rhetorical. She demands answer. Sullivan stammers. Your Honor, Answer the question. Voice peaks. Did you or did you not? Just lie, under oath, to a federal agent. Your Honor, I was unaware. Unaware? Word explodes from her. You were unaware that fabricating evidence is perjury? Unaware that lying to federal agents is a felony? Hand trembles with rage, points at Sullivan, finger extended, accusatory. You used this court, my court, as weapon, against innocent woman conducting federal investigation. Turns to Wendy, voice still elevated. Agent Ellis, please approach. Wendy walks to bench, hands Coleman credentials. Coleman examines closely. Badge number 26153. Holographic seal. Calls clerk. Verifies against federal database. Legitimate. Active. Civil Rights Division. 9 years service. Coleman closes eyes briefly. Exhales. You've been investigating Officer Sullivan? Yes, Your Honor, 18 months. Coleman's jaw tightens. How many cases? 42 documented complaints. Number hangs in air. 42. Coleman's hand grips bench, knuckles white. She turns back to Sullivan, voice steel, pure, unforgiving. You stood before me. A black woman's courtroom. 23 years I've served. Do you know what that means? For black woman on this bench? The weight? The responsibility? Points at Wendy. That woman, that black woman, is FBI Special Agent, Civil Rights Division, investigating you for targeting women who look like her, who look like me. Slam. Gavel again. And you used my court. First black woman judge in Riverside County. You used my courtroom as weapon against her? Voice breaks slightly. Not weakness. Fury barely contained. I believed you. Black woman on bench, and I believed white officer over black woman defendant. Gallery sits stunned. Coleman never loses composure. Never. Bailiff stands straighter. Protocol uncertain. Bailiff, voice steel. Remove Officer Sullivan's service weapon. Now. Bailiff hesitates. Officers don't get disarmed in court. Did I stutter? His weapon. Now. Bailiff approaches. Officer, your sidearm. Sullivan's hands shake, unbuckles holster. Glock 19, hands it over. Bailiff clears chamber. Round ejects, clatters on floor, rolls. Everyone watches. Sound impossibly loud. Symbol, badge isn't immunity. Coleman addresses Sullivan. You raised right hand, invoked God, and you lied. Stares at him. This isn't just perjury, federal obstruction, civil rights violation, investigation tampering. Turns to Anderson. Mr. Anderson, your office will receive formal complaint. Officer Sullivan lied to you, lied to me, manufactured evidence. Anderson sits, pale. Coleman's voice rings. Officer Sullivan, you are hereby held in contempt. Bail $50,000. Gavel. Testimony stricken. Case against Agent Ellis dismissed with prejudice. Gavel. Bailiff. Officer Sullivan remanded to custody. Gallery erupts. Applause. Shouts. Coleman slams gavel. Order or I clear this court. Silence. But energy remains. Justice visible. Handcuffs click behind Sullivan's back. Metal on metal. In uniform. Medals on chest. Handcuffs behind back. Contradiction stark. Coleman clears courtroom. Recess. All pending cases continued. Everyone except Agent Ellis, Mr. Anderson, court stenographer, out. Doors close. 20 people to 4. Real hearing begins. Courtroom empty now. Just Coleman, Wendy, Anderson, stenographer, bailiff, by Sullivan still in handcuffs. Energy shifted. Explosion to cold calculation. Coleman's voice returns to measured tones. Anger simmers beneath. Agent Ellis. Coleman removes reading glasses, cleans them deliberately. You said 42 complaints. I want to see all of them. Wendy opens briefcase. 347 pages. Places first file on table. Your Honor, this isn't just about today. This is pattern. 18 months investigation. 42 formal complaints filed with Riverside Police Department Internal Affairs. 89% from women of color. 0 sustained investigations. 0 accountability. Opens first file. Internal Affairs log. Case number IA 2019-0843. Dated March 15, 2019. Complaint 1, Jennifer Miller, 34, Latina woman, registered nurse at Riverside Medical. Wendy's voice clinical, professional. March 2019. Officer Sullivan pulled her over Highway 91. Evening shift commute. Claimed DUI suspicion. Forced field sobriety test. Roadside breathalyzer, 0.0. Sullivan insisted blood test at station. 4 hours waiting. Blood test, 0.0. Clean. Places photograph. Jennifer Miller's nursing license. Car impounded. Allied towing. Cost, $1,840. 3 days. She missed work. Was terminated. Lost nursing job. Filed complaint with Internal Affairs. Next document. Harrison's response. Stamped red. Case closed. Unsubstantiated. Captain Gregory Harrison, Internal Affairs Commander. Closed the case. Notation. Insufficient evidence. Officer's account deemed credible. Coleman leans forward. Studies document. Wendy continues. Complaint 2. Daniel Thompson, 29, black man, high school teacher at Riverside High. Another file. July 2020. Sullivan pulled him over leaving school. 3:45 p.m. Claimed suspended license. Mr. Thompson's license? Valid. Current? Always. Sullivan ran it 3 times. Same result? Valid. Still wrote citation. Still impounded car. Another photograph. Daniel Thompson with his classroom. Students visible behind. Mr. Thompson fought it. 2 months. Multiple court dates. Case dismissed. But Sullivan handcuffed him, quote, for safety. Students saw their teacher in handcuffs. Community respect damaged. Mr. Thompson transferred schools. Stopped teaching inner city. Places another document. Filed complaint. Internal Affairs. Case IA 2020-126. Harrison's stamp. Case closed. Complainant withdrew. Captain Harrison's office called Mr. Thompson. Implied career consequences if he continued. He withdrew. Coleman's grip on bench tightens. Wendy moves faster, building momentum. Complaint 3. Kelly Martinez, Asian American college student, November 2021. Expired registration tags, except they weren't. Renewed 2 weeks prior. DMV records prove it. Sullivan impounded anyway. She missed scholarship interview. Lost $15,000 funding. Another file. Harrison's office called her mother. Implied student visa issues if she pushed. International student. Couldn't risk it. Complaint withdrawn. Complaint 4. Ashley Wilson. Black business owner. Obstructed license plate. Plate was clean. Visible. Photos from her dashcam prove it. Complaint 5. Rebecca Davis. White woman. False claim broken brake light. Shows pattern crosses, race when convenient. Document after document. Pile grows. Each tells same story. Different victims. Different fabricated violations. Same officer. Same outcome. His word against theirs. His word wins. Until today. By complaint 30, pattern is undeniable. Places new file. Emails. Subject. Complaint management. From Captain Harrison to IA staff. Coleman reads, "Close this one quietly." Another email. "Encourage withdrawal. Department reputation is priority." Another. "No media attention on this one. Handle internally." Systematic suppression. Documented. Wendy places next exhibit. Performance reviews. Officer Derek Sullivan, 2020 through 2023. Signed, Captain Harrison. Your Honor, Officer Sullivan commended for, quote, exceptional citation volume. 18 to 23 citations per month. Department average, 8 per month. High numbers tied to merit increases. Coleman reads reviews. Jaw tightens. Implicit quota system. Officers rewarded for citation volume. Not community safety. For numbers. Creates perverse incentives. Wendy places 3 sworn affidavits. Notarized. Filed federal court. Your Honor, 3 victims provided detailed sworn statements. Reads from first. Jennifer Miller, quote, "I thought I was alone. 5 years. I blamed myself. Wondered if I did something wrong. Then I saw the news about investigation. 89% women of color. I wasn't alone. We weren't alone." End quote. Second affidavit. Daniel Thompson, quote, "Worst part wasn't money. It was my students' faces. Seeing their black teacher in handcuffs. For nothing. I taught them system works. Then I showed them it doesn't. I carry that." End quote. Third. Kelly Martinez, quote, "I'm immigrant. My family came here for opportunity, for fairness. My mother told me, America has laws, everyone equal. I wanted to believe. Sullivan taught me different." End quote. Coleman's voice quiet now. Agent Ellis, in 18 months investigation, how many complaints reached judicial review? 0, Your Honor. How many reached my court? None. Captain Harrison's office ensured they never got that far. Silence is heavy. Anderson finally speaks, voice hoarse. Your Honor, District Attorney's Office was not aware of any of this. We prosecuted based on Officer Sullivan's reports. If we had known... Coleman cuts him off. Mr. Anderson, your office has duty to investigate credibility of witnesses, especially officers with patterns. This is systemic failure. Turns back to Wendy. Agent Ellis, Civil Rights Division, federal implications? Your Honor, investigating potential violations 18 U.S.C. Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. If convicted, Officer Sullivan faces up to 10 years per count. Additionally, 18 U.S.C. Section 1519, evidence tampering. Body camera footage shows 46-second gap precisely when he claims to observe violations. That's destruction of evidence. Places body camera metadata report. Technical analysis. 46-second gap highlighted. Also investigating Captain Harrison for obstruction under 18 U.S.C. Section 1512. Email evidence shows deliberate suppression of complaints. Federal obstruction of justice. Coleman looks at Sullivan, still standing, still in handcuffs. Lawyer hasn't arrived. Union representation takes time. Officer Sullivan? Coleman's voice cold. Do you understand gravity of what you've done? This isn't traffic ticket. This is systematic abuse of power, civil rights violations, federal crimes. You targeted vulnerable women, predominantly women of color. Fabricated evidence, lied under oath, dozens of times. Sullivan says nothing. Right to remain silent. Coleman turns to bailiff. Officer Sullivan remains in custody pending arraignment. No bail until federal charges filed. Looks at Wendy. Agent Ellis, Court apologizes. This should never have happened. Your investigation likely saved others from experiencing what these 42 women experienced. Thank you. Wendy nods. Your Honor, there's one more thing. Hesitates. Places final file. We're investigating financial irregularities. We believe this isn't just about racism, it's also about profit. 42 complaints. 42 people who thought they were alone. Zero accountability. Until now. If you've ever wondered whether speaking up actually matters, stay with me. What happens next gets darker before it gets better. But it does get better. Coleman's explosion goes viral within hours. Legal blogs explode. Judge erupts over FBI badge reveal. Video clips spread. By evening, national news. Coleman doesn't apologize, releases statement. When officer lies under oath in my courtroom, there will be consequences. Badge is not immunity, it's accountability. Riverside Police Department closes ranks immediately. Wednesday morning. Captain Harrison holds press conference. City Hall steps. Cameras everywhere. Reads prepared statement. We take all allegations seriously. Officer Sullivan placed on paid administrative leave pending investigation. This appears to be isolated incident involving one officer. Isolated incident. Carefully chosen. Deflect from systemic issues. Protect department. Thursday. Union responds. Police Benevolent Association attorney sends letter. Federal Express to FBI. Reads, Officer Derek Sullivan maintains traffic stop was conducted in accordance with protocol. Agent Ellis's allegations are unfounded and defamatory. Our client asserts rights under qualified immunity doctrine. We intend to pursue all legal remedies, including defamation claims. We demand Agent Ellis issue public retraction within 72 hours. Qualified immunity. Legal doctrine that shields officers from civil liability, even when they violate rights, even when they lie. Letter continues. Furthermore, we contend Agent Ellis's undercover operation constitutes entrapment. She deliberately placed herself in position to be stopped. This manufactured situation invalidates any evidence obtained. Argument absurd, but strategic. Create doubt. Muddy waters. Make this about procedure rather than perjury. Friday afternoon. Smear campaign begins. Anonymous sources. Department insiders. They contact Rachel Moore at Riverside Chronicle. Feed information. Agent Ellis has vendetta against Riverside PD. Personal grudge. Career advancement, not justice. Rachel doesn't publish. She's investigated Sullivan for months. Knows pattern is real. But other outlets aren't careful. Blog posts appear. Social media accounts suddenly active. FBI agent targets hero cop. Was this set up? Narrative shifts. From cop lying to agent overreaching. Meanwhile, Maya goes to school Thursday, comes home crying. Wendy's heart drops. Baby, what happened? Maya won't look. Finally whispers, Someone wrote on my locker. Wrote what? Bad words. About you. About us. Starts crying. They said you hate police. They said you're lying. They said... Voice breaks. They said we should go back where we came from. Wendy pulls her close, rage and pain mixing. Her daughter, 9 years old, targeted because her mother sought justice. She calls school. Principal says investigating, but damage done. Maya doesn't want to go back. Friday evening. Sarah Bennett calls, voice tight. Wendy, my office received call today. Anonymous. Said if I continue representing victims against Riverside PD, they'll make sure I lose bar license. They mentioned my daughter by name. Said she goes to Riverside High. System protecting itself. Intimidation. Threats. Isolation. Make cost too high. Most people break here. Saturday morning, FBI field office. Wendy's supervisor, special agent in charge, Thomas Wilson, calls her in. Expression grave. Wendy, sit. Closes door. I received call from Justice Department. Riverside PD filed formal complaint. They're alleging you exceeded authority, entrapped Sullivan, violated his civil rights. Irony staggering. They want you pulled from investigation, want independent review of your methods. Wendy stays quiet. Waits. Wilson continues. I told them no. Told them your investigation was by book, properly authorized, everything documented. But hesitates. They're applying pressure, political pressure, city council, state representatives. Maybe we should table this. Let it cool. Come back in 6 months. Table it. Let it cool. Words black women hear constantly. Don't make waves. Don't push too hard. Wendy stands. With respect, sir? No. Wendy. Sir, 18 months' work, 42 victims. Sullivan is still out there. Paid leave means he keeps gun. Keeps badge. 6 months from now, memory fades. Political will disappears. This dies. Your daughter is being harassed. Which is why we can't stop. If Maya learns seeking justice gets you hurt and backing down keeps you safe, what does that teach her? Wilson sighs, leans back. You're right. But Wendy, it's going to get worse. I know. He nods. Okay. We proceed. Carefully. By book. Every I dotted. Every T crossed. Sunday evening. Wendy sits in car outside Maya's school, questions everything. Is this worth it? Worth daughter's tears? Worth threats? Worth fighting system designed to protect itself? She thinks about Jennifer Miller. Lost job. Blamed herself 5 years. Daniel Thompson. Stopped teaching. Kelly Martinez. Lost scholarship. Lost faith in America. 42 people who thought they were alone. Her phone buzzes. Text. Unknown number. I was victim 43. I never reported because no one would believe me. But I saw news. I want to file complaint. Can you help? Another text. Different number. Victim 44 here. I have video from my stop. Another. Number 45. Been waiting 6 years for someone to listen. By midnight, 16 people reached out. 16 black and brown women who saw her stand up. Found courage because she didn't back down. She calls Sarah Bennett. Sarah, we're going to need more affidavit forms. Monday morning, week 2. Maya refuses to get out of bed. Baby, you have to go to school. I don't want to. Voice muffled by pillow. They hate me there. Wendy sits on bed edge, strokes daughter's hair. They don't hate you. They don't understand. You don't understand. Maya sits up, tears on face. You weren't there. You didn't hear what they said. Words cut deep. Maya is right. Wendy wasn't there. Can't protect daughter from this. I'm sorry, baby. Then make it stop. Maya's voice breaks. Please, Mama, make it stop. And Wendy can't. Because stopping means Sullivan wins. Means Harrison keeps burying complaints. Means next black woman gets pulled over. Fabricated charges. No recourse. She calls school. Maya won't go today. Principal's secretary sympathetic. But Wendy hears unspoken message. This is becoming problem. For them. Not for students harassing daughter. For Maya. For being victim. Tuesday. Sullivan posts on social media. First time since courthouse. Account public. 12,000 followers. Mostly thin blue line supporters. Thank you for overwhelming support during difficult time. Truth will prevail. I stand by my oath and record. 12 years service. Proud to wear badge. Hatch back the blue, thin blue line. Post gets 15,000 likes, 3,000 comments, mostly supportive. We stand with you. Corrupt FBI targeting good cops. Some vicious, racist. Directed at Wendy. Rachel Moore screenshots. Documents. Evidence of harassment. Wednesday. Sarah Bennett loses client. Small business owner. Been with firm 3 years. Calls to say going in different direction. Don't want to be associated with someone controversial. Bennett calls Wendy. 3 more clients called today. Making excuses. Message is clear. Supporting you is bad for business. Sarah, if you need to step back, don't insult me. I'm not going anywhere. Just telling you, so you know the cost. Thursday. One of original 42 victims retracts complaint. Lisa Johnson. Black woman. School teacher. Sullivan pulled her over 2022. Fabricated violation. Filed complaint. Harrison buried it. Last week. Filed affidavit with federal court. Joined civil suit. Today, withdraws. Her lawyer calls Sarah. Explains. Ms. Johnson received anonymous calls. Her children mentioned by name. Their schools, their routines. She's terrified. Can't proceed. Tactic clear. Intimidate most vulnerable. Break coalition. Isolate leader. Friday. Wendy sits in FBI office. Looks at evidence. 42 complaints. 16 new ones. Body camera footage. Bank records. Hasn't shown those yet. Email evidence. Everything needed for conviction. But at what cost? Maya hasn't been to school 4 days. Crying herself to sleep. Nightmares. Sarah Bennett losing clients. 1 victim already scared away. How many more will break? Wilson walks by. Stops. You okay? No. Comes in. Closes door. Want to talk? They're targeting my daughter. She's 9. This isn't worth putting her through this. You're right. It's not. Wendy looks up. Surprised. Wilson continues. Which means you have choice. Walk away. Protect family. Let system handle itself. No one would blame you. But those 42 women, plus 16 more, plus 100 we don't know about. They don't have choice to walk away. They tried. System didn't handle itself. Protected Sullivan? We'll keep protecting him. Unless you finish this. Wendy closes eyes. What if I can't? What if this breaks my daughter? Then you'll deal with that, together. But Wendy, you don't break. And you're teaching Maya something more valuable than safety. That standing up matters, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. 5 full minutes of silence, of doubt, of questioning if one person can change system designed to protect itself. Then phone buzzes. Text. Unknown number. This is Jennifer Miller, Latina nurse, first victim. I saw Lisa withdrew. Want you to know, I'm not going anywhere. We finish this together. Another buzz. Daniel Thompson here. I'm in. Whatever it takes. Another. Kelly Martinez. I'm scared, but I'm not backing down. Another. By 5 p.m., all 16 new victims texted. Same message, different words. We're not leaving. Wendy looks at phone, at these strangers. These women who found courage because one FBI agent wouldn't break. She calls Sarah Bennett. Sarah, how fast can you draft motions? How many? All of them. We're not waiting. We go on offense. Now. She could have walked away right here. Protected Maya. Let the system handle it. The same system that protected Sullivan 12 years. But she didn't. And what happens in the next 72 hours changes everything. If you've made it this far, you need to see how this ends. Stay with me. Within 72 hours, everything shifts. Monday morning, week 3. Federal courthouse. Sarah Bennett files class action civil rights lawsuit. Caption, Miller et al. V. Sullivan et al. 58 plaintiffs. Jennifer Miller as lead plaintiff. Sullivan, Harrison, Riverside Police Department, City of Riverside. Complaint 93 pages. Detailed. Devastating. Pattern and practice violations. Systematic racial profiling. Financial exploitation. Civil rights violations under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983. Punitive damages requested. $20 million. Press release 9 a.m. By noon, national news. By evening, lead story 3 networks. Tuesday. Rally at City Hall. 300 people. Organized by local NAACP. Black churches. Brown community organizations. College students. Allies. Crowd diverse. Angry. Peaceful. Jennifer Miller stands at podium. 34. Latina nurse. Lost job because Sullivan fabricated DUI. Voice steady. Strong. I thought I was alone. 5 years. I blamed myself. Maybe I seemed drunk even though I wasn't. Maybe my fault. Crowd silent. Listening. Then I saw news. Saw Agent Ellis. 42 complaints. 89% women of color. I realized. I wasn't alone. We weren't alone. Applause. Growing. For 5 years I carried shame that wasn't mine. Blame that belonged to him. To system that protected him. Today we say, no more. No more isolation. No more silence. No more letting them make us think we're the problem. Crowd erupts, chanting, no more, no more, no more. Daniel Thompson speaks next. Black teacher, voice shaking with emotion. My students saw me in handcuffs. For nothing. I taught them system works if you follow rules. Then I followed every rule. Didn't matter, because system protects badge, not truth. Maya is there, standing with Wendy in back, watching, learning. This is what standing up looks like. What courage costs. What it wins. Wednesday. Rachel Moore publishes investigative piece. Riverside Chronicle. Front page. 4,000 words. 6 months research. Headline. How many more? Hidden pattern of racial profiling in Riverside PD. Article includes everything. 42 complaints. Harrison's emails. Quota system. Performance reviews rewarding citation volume. Financial ties between officers and allied towing. Names. Shows patterns. Backs every claim with documentation. Article goes viral. 380,000 shares 24 hours. National outlets pick up. CNN. MSNBC. Fox News covers. Different angle, but covers. Thursday morning. FBI Financial Crimes Unit delivers package. Federal Express. Early delivery. 84 pages bank records. Officer Derek Sullivan's personal accounts. Allied Towing Services financial records. Cross-referenced. Highlighted. Analyzed. Wendy opens page 1. Eyes widen. Calls Sarah Bennett. Sarah, you're not going to believe this. Try me. Sullivan wasn't just targeting women of color because of racism. He was profiting. $38,460. 3 years. Kickbacks from Allied Towing. Every car impounded, they paid him. $85 per vehicle. Silence. Then, oh my God. It gets worse. Harrison's brother-in-law? On Allied Towing's board. Harrison approved their exclusive contract with City. No competitive bidding. RICO? Potentially. Federal racketeering. Organized fraud. This isn't just bad policing. Organized crime-wearing badge. Sarah's voice quiet. Dangerous. Wendy, this changes everything. We're not just fighting racism. We're fighting corruption, financial corruption. That's something prosecutors love. Juries understand. Money. Emailing records now. How fast can you amend complaint? Give me 2 hours. Friday afternoon. Amended complaint filed. New counts added. Fraud, racketeering, unjust enrichment. Damages request increases to $35 million. By evening, story shifts. Not just about racist cop. About systematic financial exploitation of vulnerable communities. Women of color targeted because less likely to have resources to fight back. Narrative changes. And with it, political calculus. Follow the money. It always tells truth. FBI financial crimes analysis is forensic, detailed, irrefutable. Wendy spreads documents across conference room table. Sarah Bennett sits across. Rachel Moore takes notes. James Crawford, IA whistleblower, stands by window. Page 1. Derek Sullivan's checking account. Wells Fargo. Deposits clear. Consistent. Damning. January 2021. Deposit. $1,250. Memo. Consulting services. Source. Allied Towing Services, LLC. February 2021. Same deposit. Same memo. Same source. March, April, May, every month. Same amount. 36 months. $45,000 total. FBI cross-referenced Sullivan's citations with Allied impound records. Correlation 93%. Almost every car Sullivan impounded went to Allied. Almost every impound generated payment. Average Allied charges, $285 per day storage, plus $250 towing, plus administrative fees. Average total, $1,200 per victim. Sullivan impounded 63 vehicles, 3 years. 47 driven by women of color. Allied generated $75,600 from Sullivan's stops alone. Sullivan received $38,460, roughly 50% revenue his impounds generated. Sarah Bennett reads analysis. Jaw tightens. He was running protection racket, stop vulnerable women, fabricate violations, impound cars. They pay to get them back. He gets cut. Jennifer Miller paid $1,840 to Allied. Sullivan received $85 from that. Daniel Thompson paid $1,200. Kelly Martinez lost her car entirely. Couldn't afford fees. Allied sold it at auction. Human cost staggering. Working class families, single mothers, college students, people who can't afford $850 fine, much less $1,200 impound fees. Some took payday loans, went into debt. One woman filed bankruptcy. All so Derek Sullivan could make extra $38,000 over 3 years. James Crawford speaks, voice bitter. I reported this to Harrison in 2021. Told him Sullivan's impound rate was suspicious. 6 times department average. He told me focus on real crimes. Turns from window. Real crimes. This is organized fraud. But Harrison called it good police work. Wendy places another document. Allied Towing Corporate Filing. California Secretary of State. Board of Directors. 5 names. 4th, Stephen Harrison. Relation, Gregory Harrison's brother-in-law. Harrison had financial interest in Allied succeeding. Sullivan's high impound rate meant more revenue. More revenue meant higher dividends. Harrison profited from Sullivan's corruption. RICO implications clear. Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Requires pattern of racketeering. 2 or more related criminal acts. Sullivan's fabrications. Harrison's cover-up and financial interest. Allied's kickbacks. Pattern established. Rachel Moore's article next day, devastating. Headline, Riverside cop profited $38K from targeting women of color. Subhead, Captain's brother-in-law received city towing contract. Story includes receipts. Bank statements, redacted but showing pattern. Allied records, corporate filings. Everything documented. Everything sourced. Public reaction seismic. Racism people can rationalize. Implicit bias. Bad training. But fraud? Stealing from working-class families? Everyone understands that. City Council calls emergency session. Review Allied contract. Turns out, no bidding process. Harrison submitted Allied's proposal. Approved. No competition. No oversight. Contract terminated immediately. Allied loses $200,000 annual city revenue. By Thursday, federal prosecutors take notice. Grand jury subpoenas issued. Not just Sullivan. Harrison. Allied executives. Financial records going back 5 years. Investigation expands. Not just one cop fabricating stops. Systematic corruption. Financial exploitation. Organized crime. Started with one black woman refusing to accept fabricated ticket. Friday. 2 weeks after courthouse explosion. Federal courthouse. Downtown Los Angeles. Grand jury impaneled. 23 citizens. 12 women. 11 men. Diverse. Representing community. Grand jury proceedings secret. No cameras. No public. Just citizens hearing evidence. Deciding probable cause to indict. Testimony takes 2 days. Day 1. Morning. Special Agent Wendy Ellis testifies. 6 hours. Walks grand jury through everything. 18-month investigation. Pattern. 42 complaints. Body camera evidence. Fabricated stop. Sullivan's perjury. Financial records. Calm. Professional. Clinical. Facts speak. Jurors take notes. Ask questions. One juror, black woman, retired teacher, asks, "Agent Ellis, how common is this pattern?" More common than people realize. Racial profiling isn't just about stops. It's about who gets charged, who gets believed, who can afford to fight back. Officer Sullivan targeted vulnerable women because they're less likely to have resources, less likely believed, more likely to just pay and move on. Afternoon. 5 victims testify. Jennifer Miller first. Tells story. Fabricated DUI. Lost job. 5 years shame. Voice doesn't waver. "I want you to understand. It wasn't just money. It was my dignity, my sense of safety, my trust in system. He took all that for $85. Daniel Thompson, second. Handcuffs in front of students. Trauma. Career change. "I taught civics. Taught my students justice is blind. If you follow rules, system protects you. Then system showed me I was wrong. My students learned that lesson too." Kelly Martinez, Ashley Wilson, Rebecca Davis. Each tells story. Pattern undeniable. Day 2, morning. Financial forensic accountant testifies. FBI specialist. Walks through bank records. Correlation between impounds and payments. Statistical analysis. Probability of this payment pattern being coincidental is less than 0.01%. James Crawford testifies. Internal whistleblower. Voice shakes. "I reported these patterns to Captain Harrison in 2021. Told him Sullivan's impound rate was 6 times normal. He told me focus on real crimes. Then had me reassigned to graveyard shift. Retaliation. Because I wouldn't look away." Judge Patricia Coleman submits written statement. Describes courtroom perjury. Explosion. Realization her courtroom weaponized. "In 23 years on bench, I have never witnessed such brazen disregard for truth, for justice, for communities we serve." Derek Sullivan called. Fifth Amendment. Invokes right to remain silent. Every question. "On advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right." 47 times. Silence speaks volumes. Gregory Harrison testifies. Attempts distance. Claims didn't know about financial arrangement, didn't know about brother-in-law's allied position, didn't know Sullivan was paid. Prosecutor shows him his emails. Close this one quietly. Encourage withdrawal. Department reputation is priority. Harrison has no answer. Grand jury deliberates. 90 minutes. When they return, foreman stands. Black man, 63 years old. Retired teacher. He's lived this. Understands. Unfolds paper. Reads clearly. In matter of United States versus Derek Sullivan, count 1, perjury. We find probable cause. We indict. Continues. 15 counts total. 3 perjury. 5 civil rights violations. 18 U.S.C. Section 242. 2 evidence tampering. 3 fraud. 2 conspiracy. On all counts, we indict. Courtroom. Just prosecutors, agents, court staff, erupts briefly. Professional restraint barely maintained. Sullivan will face trial. Federal charges. If convicted all counts, 45 years. Harrison indicted separately. 7 counts. Obstruction. Conspiracy. Fraud. Badge couldn't protect them. Not from truth. 3 months later. Derek Sullivan pleads guilty. 11 of 15 counts. Evidence overwhelming. Sentencing. 8 years federal prison. No parole. 8 years minimum. Gregory Harrison takes deal. Testifies against Allied executives. 3 years. Loses pension. 26 years law enforcement. Gone. Allied towing files bankruptcy. 3 executives face federal charges. Riverside Police Department implements reforms. Independent Civilian Oversight Board. Community members, including Jennifer Miller and Daniel Thompson, serve. Body camera footage reviewed monthly. Complaint process reformed. Every complaint gets independent investigation. Quota systems banned. Officers no longer rewarded for citation volume. Real change. Slow. Imperfect. But real. Wendy Ellis returns to work. FBI Civil Rights Division. Already investigating another department. Another pattern. Work continues. Maya goes back to school. Different school. Fresh start. Nightmares fade. Slowly. She tells her mother one night, "I'm proud of you, Mama." Those 5 words. Worth everything. 58 women in class action. Settlement. $12 million. It's not enough. Money never is. But it's something. Acknowledgement. Recognition. Judge Patricia Coleman still sits on bench. Still fierce. Still fair. When officers testify now, they know. She's watching. She remembers. Badge is not shield from accountability. It's responsibility to community. No one is above law. When one person stands up, others find courage. 42 became 16 more. 58 became movement. That's how change happens. Wendy Ellis still drives that 2009 Honda Accord. Still picks up Maya. Still checks mirrors. But now, when she sees those lights behind her, she knows something different. Truth has power, and she proved it. This story is based on real patterns happening across the country. Documented civil rights violations, financial exploitation of vulnerable communities, systems that protect power instead of people. If this story moved you, share it. Tag someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below. What shocked you most? For me, it was the $38,000. That's what their rights were worth to him. $85 per victim. Hit that like button if you believe accountability matters. Subscribe, because we're documenting more stories like this. Cases where truth wins, where evidence speaks, where the badge doesn't protect from consequences. This fight isn't over. By listening, by sharing, by refusing to accept that power protects power, you're part of this too. The badge is not immunity. It's responsibility. Remember that.